A pivotal week for the Obama administration in the fight against ISIS. The president and his team launching an all-out diplomatic effort right here in New York City, trying to recruit allies at the annual meeting of the United Nations General Assembly. So let's bring in George Stephanopoulos, host of This Week.
Good morning.
Are we now right on the cusp of a bombing campaign that will expand from Iraq into Syria?
Well, here's what we know. We know the Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Martin Dempsey have approved a plan for airstrikes into Syria, and our Pentagon sources say that could happen at any time. But the big question right now is, and that's why this week is, as you say, so pivotal, is will the United States be forced to go it alone with airstrikes in Syria, or will allies publicly join that effort?
John Kerry's been traveling all over the planet trying to gather more allies in this fight. You've got a big show this morning with a major focus on ISIS. Your main guest is Samantha Power, the U.S. representative to the UN. What do you want to press her on most?
Where are those allies? Will they come forward publicly? Does the United States have the legal authority to go forward into Syria? There's no UN resolution right now. And can the president succeed without ground combat troops? The president has ruled that out, but his former Defense Secretary, Robert Gates, this week said the strategy cannot succeed without ground troops. We're going to be asking him about that as well. He's another guest on the program this morning.
You know, there's been mixed messages on that, and so many people in this country worried about ISIS. And into this fray, I want to show you an article that was on the front page of the New York Times this morning. And it talks about a shadowy terrorist group also based in Syria that is being run by a former top aide to Osama bin Laden. And the article alleges that this group is much more of a danger to the U.S. and Europe than ISIS is. And it raises the question, with all the focus on ISIS, have we taken our eye off the ball?
I don't think so. I think the intelligence agencies and the Homeland Security officials who are in charge of this effort have always focused on the constellation of forces in that region who could pose a threat to the United States, not just ISIS, who they actually say they have no specific credible threat that they could attack the United States right now, but they say overall the threat is still very real.
So many things to worry about in this region, and the key question is, will we have allies? George will be talking about all of this and much more, and we remind you that she has a big show this morning. As we said, Samantha Power, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, will be one of the guests. That's later this morning on This Week, right here on ABC.